Hello everyone, I am Sulofna and I welcome you to our very first video. Today we are going to talk about in detail experience of our immigration from Mumbai to Toronto during COVID-19 pandemic and also discuss every step that we had to undergo to reach Canada and also talk about landing process that we followed in Toronto. So let's begin. First of all, let me tell you that me and my husband had COPR which was expiring on 17th July 2020. So we decided to book an Air India Phase 2 Vande Bharat mission flight, and the only option we had was to book Air India tickets from Mumbai to London and Air Canada tickets from London to Toronto. We were informed that the ticket bookings will start on 30th May 2020 at 11 a.m. So on 30th May at around 11:30 we could open the Air India website and immediately book two tickets using my uncle's credit card. And once we got confirmation, we booked our next Air Canada flight from London to Toronto. There are various portals available to book your Air India flight. First that we use was the Air India website itself. The second that you can use is Air India application, or you can even book via visiting their Air Canada office. From London to Toronto Air Canada booking, we did it via website, but you can also do it using their application, or you can book a tour and travel agent, and also you can book online using various applications such as Make My Trip, GoIbibo, Clear Trip, and many other options are available to book this ticket. Okay, so now let us discuss the flight details. Our very first flight, which was from Mumbai to London, the travel date was 6th June 2020. The departure time was 1:55 p.m. Indian time. The landing time was 11 p.m. India time, while 7 p.m. London time. The baggage allowance was two bags of 23 kgs each and one bag which was a carry-on luggage. So for two tickets, we could take four bags of 23 kgs and two bags of 7 kgs each as a carry-on luggage. Our transit hall at London Heathrow Airport was 17 hours. Yes, you heard correctly. It was 17 hours. London to Toronto Air Canada flight, which was on 7th June 2020. The departure time was 11:05 p.m. from the London airport and the landing time was 2:50 p.m. in Toronto. The baggage allowance given by Air Canada to us was only one bag of 23 kg and one single bag of 7 kg carry-on. So for two tickets, we could only carry 23 kgs two bag and two 7 kgs carry-on bag. So for two extra bag that we had carried with us, we had to pay 100 Canadian dollars for each bag. So 100 Canadian dollar was equivalent to 5,479 INR. So we have to pay approximately 11,800 at the Air India check-in counter. Booking payment details. From Mumbai to London, the Air India, you can book using credit card, debit card or online banking. We did it using credit card. While the London to Toronto Air Canada flight, we again use credit card as a payment option. You can also use debit card. The extra luggage, as we discussed, they cost around 100 Canadian dollars. So you can pay that to the Air India check-in counter and they will produce the receipt for the same, so that if there is any query or inquiry by the Air Canada, you can show that receipt and have your luggage sent directly to Toronto. I would like to provide a special information. Firstly, if you are booking an Air India flight using somebody else's credit card and the passenger is not the card holder, then the passenger should possess a photocopy of the card. That photocopy should be self-attested by the card holder who is authorizing you to use the card for the purchase of your ticket. And also for security reasons, you can strike out the CVV number. Secondly, This photocopy should also contain the name of the passenger, the itinerary details for which the booking is made. So what you can do is you can take a Xerox copy of the ticket and make the card holder to sign over it, and this has to be given to the check-in counter of Air India if they ask. For few flight passengers, they did ask, but for few initial passengers, they couldn't ask because of the kiosk created at the time of the check-in. Now let us discuss the travel experience in detail. We arrived at Mumbai T2 Terminal Airport 5 hours prior to our boarding time, but I guess 4 hours will also do. The entrance gate that we were allocated was 8th gate number. We were asked to form a queue outside gate number 8, and we had given two forms to fill per person. The form 1 was divided into two parts. It was a self-reporting form, and the same information need to be filled in part 1 and part 2. The form 2 were divided into two parts. In first part, you are undertaking risk of travel and quarantine costs, and the second part had undertaking deportation charges. So in first part, you are signing the document saying that you are aware of the risk to travel abroad, and also you are aware of the quarantine time that you have to undergo after reaching the airport. The part 2 is undertaking deportation charges, which means that if Air India flight is taking you to a certain destination and the immigration officer doesn't allow you to go out, and they think that you have been exempted from traveling and still you are traveling, so they might deport you back, and those charges will have to be paid by the passenger and not by the flight. And the next is CISF officer will check your passport, ticket, and also your temperature before allowing you to check in and get your boarding pass. So as you can see this picture, here is my personal self-reporting form. It has the same, but it is divided into two parts. So here you are supposed to fill name of your passenger, the seat number you have been allocated, the flight number, passport number, nationality, age, date of arrival, your journey, origin of your journey, the final destination, and your address in detail. So this is basically the self-reporting form that is to be filled by all international passengers. This picture here is divided into part 1 and part 2, as you can see. The first one is undertaking risk of travel and quarantine costs, and the second one is undertaking deportation charges, as we discussed. So once we filled the form, we entered inside the airport. The first step that they did was, first half of the form was collected by an Air India staff. The entire second form, both the forms, were again collected by the Air India officials. They will check whether you are exempted to travel or not. Basically, if you are having a work permit or COPR and you are allowed to travel by Canada, then they will cross check it that whether you are allowed or not. And once they verify that you are allowed to travel, they will weigh all your bags, and the extra baggage payment will be taken there itself. And after doing that, they will issue you a boarding pass for both flight and also give you an Air India payment receipt of your payment. After you check in and you receive a boarding pass, the luggage is already been taken by the staff. The next step is to go through the security, and once you clear the security, you are headed towards immigration. In immigration, you will be asked to give form 1, which is the other part of the form 1. Then they will check again whether you are allowed to travel or not. After they are thorough that you will be allowed an entry to Canada, they will take your picture and put a stamp to your passport, and then you will be allowed to go and wait at the terminal to board into the flight. Here I would like to mention that there is nothing open at the Mumbai airport. So please carry your cooked food and snacks with you. Only drinking water is available, but there is nothing else open at the airport. Not even the vending machine, not even the tea stalls. So before we went into boarding the flight, there were few steps that were undertaken by the Air India staff. The first most important thing that I noticed was every passenger who had given the middle seat were asked to wear a PPE kit, which includes gown, head cap, shoe cover, mask, and shield, while the passengers who got the window seat and the aisle seat were only asked to wear mask and shield. And just before boarding the flight, the temperature of each passengers were checked again. After checking the temperature, they allowed us to go inside the plane. First thing that we noticed that there were total of three packet food that were kept under each seat inside a polythene bag. Second thing that I noticed was there was no vacant seat kept anywhere in the flight. So the flight was completely booked. Not even a single seat was left vacant. Also, there was no in-flight entertainment available. So if you want to pass time, please download some movies for your 9 hours journey. These are the pictures of the food that was provided to us. It was all cold and packed food. There was nothing extra served beyond this food, and also there was no hot water, no tea or coffee available. You could only ask for extra water bottle. That's it. After the Air India flight landed into London, we had two options. First is we stay inside the airport for 17 hours, or we can take a 1 day transit visa. What we opt was to say stay inside the airport. So if you are opting to stay inside the airport, you just have to pass through security and go directly to your gate and wait for your next flight. If you are opting for the second option, that is you ask immigration officer for 1 day transit visa, then you have to pass through immigration. And once you come back to board your next flight, you again have to do your check-in, the immigration and security. So it's upon you if you want visa, go out, or you can stay at the airport and wait for your next flight. Now again, at London Airport, there are only two shops that were open. The first was Boots and the second was WH Smith. Now these two shops closes at 10 p.m. and opens at 5 a.m. They have good amount of food available. So you can either carry your cooked food and snack, because the London security will allow cooked food to pass through the security. So you need not to worry. Or you can buy sandwiches and drinks from Boots or WH Smith before 10 p.m. And when they open at 5, you can again have their service available. The drinking water is available throughout the airport. So it's upon you, you want to buy food or you can bring your own cooked food and snack. During our halt at London Heathrow, we were quite comfortable as there were no shops open, there was not much public available at the airport. There were few who were supposed to board flight with us. So it was very comfortable. You can rest anywhere you want. After 17 hours halt, our boarding started for Air Canada. So in that, the first thing that they did was to check temperature of each passengers, and second, they again checked whether each passengers are allowed to enter into Canada or not. So if you were a student or you had work permit, they cross-check it with the Canadian embassy whether these people are allowed or not. But for COPRs, permanent residents, citizens, they gave an easy access without any problem. And once they are thorough that you are allowed, they will allow you to board the flight smoothly. So once we entered into the flight, What we saw was completely different that we saw in Air India. Here, the middle seat of every row was kept vacant. There was in-flight entertainment available. Also at the entrance, there was a COVID kit which was provided to each passenger that include a sanitizer liquid, mask, gloves and water bottle. Here the food was not already kept at your seat. Once we entered and the flight took off, the first round of food was distributed by the in-flight crew and the second round was at the end of the duration of the flight. They will also provide you with one important document in the flight, which is the customs form that needs to be filled by every passenger. But if you are traveling in a group, then one form for each group or each family was sufficient. So the custom form looks something like this. It had the details of each passenger, and if you are traveling as a family, there was four options given for four members of the family. They will also ask about certain things that you are bringing into Canada. Do you have goods to follow list available or not? Or there are certain exempted foods that you are bringing or not. So this form has to be given in the customs that you have to undergo after your immigration process is done. So this document is also very important. So after all this hard work of VES submissions, of IELTS, of processing your documents, waiting for your COPR, you finally land into the soil of Canada. So once we landed, the biggest hurdle was to have smooth landing procedure. Every immigrant was very terrified about the process that they had to go through. But I would say this was the most easiest and the smoothest process that we underwent throughout our journey. So the first thing that we had to undergo was to contact the Canadian Border Service Agency that were the first point of contact at the border. So first was the port of entry. At the port of entry, the officer first checked our passport, visa, the COPR letter, and he asked a few general questions regarding our quarantine stay, or do we have groceries available, or do we have someone who will help us with the groceries. And he also asked that where exactly we are going to travel post quarantine period. And once he checked our passport, visa and COPR letter, he showed us the way towards the immigration. Let me tell you, the officer was down to earth, very calm and welcoming person. Next, we went to immigration. At immigration, they will again ask you for your passport, the COPR letter, and once they will check that the document is expired or not, they will head through asking questions about the funds that you are carrying, about the good to follow list, and what is the exact value of the goods to follow list. So make sure you prepare everything that is going to follow you after you land here in Canada, and put a rough estimate value in Indian rupees as well as in Canadian dollars and total it and make that list ready so that once the immigration officer asks you the total amount of the goods that you are going to carry, you can easily tell them. The next is they will make you wait for 2 minutes so that they can prepare your document, and after approximately 2 or 3 minutes they will call you back. They will take a signature on the second copy of your COPR, and the copy with the picture will be taken by them, and they will also give you a gist explanation about how to renew it, how are you going to apply for citizenship, and they will also inform you that the SIN application number offices is currently closed because of COVID-19 pandemic, so it needs to be applied later. And after you finish the immigration, the next thing that you go is go and collect your baggage. Once you collect your baggage, the next thing that you do is go to the customs. Here the first thing they ask is the custom form that you filled in the plane. Then next thing they will ask is, do you have any goods to follow list and how much money are you carrying? Once you give them a good to follow list, they will stamp, the custom officer will stamp on it and also give you a printed receipt cum bill. Again, that will have a stamp of the officer. And once the stamping is done, he will ask you general questions about your luggage. They will ask you what kind of food are you carrying. So if you are carrying a home cooked food, please don't worry and declare it to the officer that you are carrying a certain food item which you have made from your home in India and you are going to use that food during quarantine period. So please don't hide it. Just tell them, they will allow the food to pass. They will also ask if any kind of seeds or plants or animal meat you are carrying, which is prohibited. So please don't carry that. They will also ask you about the milk and milk products are you carrying. That is also prohibited. So you're not allowed to carry any cheese or any milk product that you have brought from India. But you can carry the things that you have got in the plane. So if you have got cheese in the plane, you are allowed to carry with you, no problem. And also the most important, if you have money which is more than $10,000, so you will have to tell to the officer. So in case if you hide it and they check your bag and you are caught, so there are certain penalties that you have to go through. The next thing is, many officers check the bag and see everything that you are bringing in detail. But in our case, our bags were not checked at all. But the few passengers that we had on plane, the different officer checked their bag entirely. So make sure you declare everything that you have brought with you and don't hide anything. They will not ask you questions regarding the gold that you are wearing. So that is allowed. You can wear as much as gold you want. And if you are carrying in your bag, then you have to declare it. And once you finish the custom process, then they will ask you to exit the airport as soon as you can and not to use any public transport. And once you are exit from the airport, you are now the PR holder of Canada. Thank you so much. Hope you find this very informative and I hope you will like our video, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.